Here we go again then for another round of Grand Prix action. The conditions are just right to spice up the racing in this part of the world today, and we're all itching to get underway. The ever-tightening turns 1 and 2 will prove tricky in the slippery conditions here at Shanghai, and anyone that slides wide will lose a lot of time getting back on track. Turn 14 should still be the best place for overtaking, but we'll have to see some improvement in the weather before the drivers can take advantage of that DRS assistance. Not one of the easiest days to go racing. It's damp, it's slippery, there's dark clouds as far as the eye can see. The rain is here then, and that's going to take away a lot of the grip, Anthony Davidson, and make turn 1 very interesting indeed.
Yeah, it's these kind of conditions where you can go in with one of two mindsets. You either see it as an opportunity, or you're worried that all of your hard work's about to be undone. We've been stuck in these conditions now for a few hours, but more or less this kind of intensity, so we don't seem to have too much standing water, so we're not likely to be starting behind a safety car. Like you say, Crofty, the charge down into turn 1 would be quite interesting. I think we're in for a cracking Grand Prix.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Hülkenberg, Ricciardo, Magnussen and Carlos Sainz, Stroll, Grosjean, Kimi Raikkonen and Perez, Van Dorn, Hartling and Marcus Ericsson, Alonso and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, remember to protect the inside on the run down to turn 1. Make yourself as wide as possible, robust but fair.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 3 of the F1 2020 Charles Leclerc mod career mode, where today we're here back for the Chinese Grand Prix. And today we have a bit of a spicy one. Now I thought the main story coming into this weekend's Grand Prix would be the fact that Sebastian Vettel and myself were separated by just 14 thousandths of a second in yesterday's qualifying session, but instead we have got our first wet race of the championship, and looking at that weather, it's looking like it's going to be a mixed conditions race ahead of us, so this is certainly going to be a very, very exciting one with a bit of luck. Now, if you guys are new around here and you haven't watched any of the races so far in this series, I would highly, highly recommend going back and doing so. The first 2 races have been absolutely brilliant, and as we head to round 3 here today, I'm very, very excited to see what we can muster up in this Grand Prix. Currently in the standings, as you would have seen in the intro, we're 8 points down on Lewis Hamilton, who leads the way. Ferrari are 20 points off Mercedes in the Teams Championship as well. So hopefully we can try and close down that gap in this Grand Prix. But here in China, I'm sure anything can happen here today. I just want to jump straight into it though. Get ready for the start of this Grand Prix. We're going to try and monitor the throttle off the start. It's 5 lights here in Shanghai, and it's lights out, and away we go. They're not responding all too well to the lights. However, no, not quite getting, just a bit too much wheel spin as we try to cycle it up into 3rd gear. Seb is going to cost us a bit of front wing as we head through turn 1 there, and he's going incredibly slowly through the first corner. We understeer out a bit wide. That was not how we wanted to start this race. We picked up a little bit of front wing damage there, but hopefully shouldn't cost us too much in these wet conditions. We might have to try and get them repaired when we do move over onto a set of the dry compounded tyres. They're just snagging a break as we head down through the end of Sector 1 there. However, we have survived. We've still got a 1-2 as a team. Albon up into P3 in the Grand Prix there. I know Bottas had a terrible qualifying. Clearly Mercedes struggling a bit more around this circuit. It really did seem to suit Ferrari in qualifying here, but we need to stick close to Seb as we head now through Sector 2 here, just trying to get the car rotated through, trying to get everything up to temperature. It's been a very long time since I drove in the rain on F1 2018, so we'll wait and see as to how this one goes. But yeah, we just need to settle down to a rhythm over these opening couple of laps and wait to find out when the dry period does arrive. How do we potentially, however, get a run out onto the back straight on my teammate? We're going to throw absolutely everything we've got in the car. Rich revs, overtake mode, everything like that. Hopefully we can gain a little bit. We're slowly but surely closing in. Still obviously got some slipstream here. Might try and go for a bit of a send. Seb though just moves out ever so slightly into the braking zone there. Makes it very, very clear he doesn't want to go for it on the opening lap of the Grand Prix. Get a little bit better traction at the final corner, but yeah, we'll slot in for now, I think. Could we potentially get a run? Getting a little bit earlier, actually, on the power at the final corner there. I'm not too sure if there was a tiny bit of contact side by side as we head down in towards turn 1. Pretty even on the brakes. Seb's got the inside line. Can we try and go for a bit of a switchback, though? Up the inside we go. We're now cleanly ahead, and we are back up into the lead of the Chinese Grand Prix. Park it through turn 2. Now we need to try and get a bit of a run, because Seb will always try and sit right near us if he possibly can here. So let's try and settle down and see what we can do.
For a new strategy option.
Lap 4, the team are recommending a new strategy choice for us. What are they trying to say? Do I even have a button for it? I don't think I do by the looks of it. That's not going to be very ideal. So, are the team trying to recommend dries for us? Do they think the track's getting dry enough? They're saying the rain's still going to be here for another few laps. Car still feels fine at the moment. So I don't think we're going to make that race. We've got a 1.7 second margin over our teammate. Albon, though, is really, really applying the pressure at the moment, so he's doing a fantastic job. DRS has been enabled. That means it's going to be dry, and you can see a few drivers towards the rear of the field have now pit, so they might be able to get quite a good undercut. So the team is, yeah, definitely recommending dry tyres here, so we're going to have to change that on the strat. Which dries do we go on to, though? I'm going to say softs. If I recall correctly on F1 2018, the supers don't go that far. So, do we opt to change the front wing as well? We're not losing too much for it at the moment, so I think we won't worry about that. But yeah, interesting that it is still raining, ever so slightly to be fair, it's just drizzle now. But the team still want us to move on to set the drives.
DRS is now enabled.
Just got to make sure, obviously, we bring it in nice and tidy at the end of this lap. We'll try and get it slowed down into the pit lane all nice and safely. Through the final, well, through the hairpin. Let's not do what obviously Hamilton famously did back in 2007 and beach it on a set of destroyed tyres. However, yeah, very surprised that we only had to go 4 laps on these. Seb's going to dive it in as well, so very, very ideal that we've stayed out ahead of him. Just about getting it stopped in time. Verstappen, he's going to stay out there, so both Ferraris, both Mercedes and Albon are all going to dive it in. How many other cars are we going to see? It's changing the front wing. This is not what we needed. We're going to hold up Seb, but I think we're going to get held up in the process by the cars. No, we've been held. We're going to get held by this whole train. We're just sat here. There's nothing we can do. Come on. Come on. Thank you at last. We're P14. We're going to make back a few of those places through other AI pitting. This is completely upset our rhythm at the moment. Look how much time we've lost. And obviously Seb's lost it as well. I clicked the wrong button. It's all going pear-shaped.
Pit strategy complete.
We're going to climb, yeah, back down in P10 of this Grand Prix. Seb's going to be out, I think, in last place because of that. Now, I didn't want a front wing change. I don't know why the game decided to give us the front wing change. We now got Perez trying to get round us as well. But I think, is that a Sauber? Or an Alfa Romeo, even I should say, leading the Grand Prix? I think that is. Let's have a look on the race director. I'm guessing he didn't pit. Yeah, no, it was Giovinazzi who's still out there. Gasly is still out there. So Hamilton now is effectively in the net lead. Albon is up into P2. Ocon is on for a podium here so far in the Chinese Grand Prix. But we need to push like crazy and get back past as many of these cars as possible here. I cannot believe that's happened to us. And of course it screwed Seb as well at the same time. But we got a good car. Still got a good package here, so we'll see what we can recover in this race. All over the back of Sainz already here in the Mclaren. Getting all kinds of loose, as the track's still a bit moist at the moment. Need to try and get up to the back of him as we head onto the back straight. Still, yeah, a lot of understeer at the moment. Nice to see the AI, though, also pit onto a set of the mediums, so I'm guessing we made the right call in that sense. Now, can we get the run on Sainz? McLaren Renault versus Ferrari. see much more overspeed on him. Straight at the inside we go. Yeah, nothing you can do in terms of defence there. We'll move back over to the racing line. Oh, so we got Bottas and Magnussen having a bit of a squabble just in front. Hopefully we can capitalise on this.
Caution.
Yellow flags out. Someone else has span out the final corner. That is Gasly in the AlphaTauri. Albon has been, I think, involved in that as well, and Albon has looked set to at least fight for this race victory. What's happened there? That means Gasly's going to have to do another lap on those set of the intermediate tyres there, so that's really not gone well for them. I'm guessing there's been a little bit of an incident. Albon potentially trying to look around the outside, Gasly potentially just going into the back of him, a bit of miscommunication as they head into the pit lane now. I'm really not too sure, but throughout all of this, we're now back up into P6, the Grand Prix. Verstappen is now up into third, Ocon is now up into second place, but unfortunately for me, Hamilton, championship leader, leads the way. Coming now towards the end of lap 6, look at the overspeed we've got on Magnussen. We weren't even in the DRS, but we should be able to get the run on him anyway. To the outside we go of the Haas driver here. Not much, he's going to try and keep it up the inside, in fact. Can we go for the switchback move? No, not quite able to get the power as early there. So Magnussen does hold on. Look at the gap Hamilton has already been able to make. Through the final corner we go though. That's a better run that we needed here. Bottas sets the fastest lap. We get round the outside of Magnussen. Are now up into P5. We need
11.9 seconds.
Let's pick a bit of grass through turn 1. We need to try and get past at least one of the Mercedes here. We're still only halfway through this race, so it's actually crazy to think how much has already kicked off in this one, but let's continue on. New fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Within 6 tenths quicker than Hamilton, who's currently at the top of the field there. Verstappen looks to be very, very quick as well, up in P2. However, Bottas and myself are both now closing in on the Renault of Ocon. I honestly thought after the pit stop window he was looking good for a podium here, but I don't think that Renault's quite got what it takes to manage against the likes of the Mercedes, the Ferraris and the Red Bulls of this world. Onto the back straight once again. Can we potentially get a bit of a run? I'm sure Bottas is going to try and look past Ocon. Can we potentially go for something as well here? We're gaining in on the pair of them. Bottas slips past Ocon. Are we going to try and get up the inside? Might try and get up the inside of Bottas as well. We've got it incredibly deep. But we've made the move work. The double overtake there in the braking zone. We get a warning for a collision with Bottas. That was aggressive. I think that's safe to say. But we pulled it off. Up into the podium places once again. Another fastest lap.
That's a new fastest lap.
Now we've got to try and close up to Max Verstappen.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Hamilton's got issues on the radio. Could this race not be over just yet? As if we haven't done enough crazy. Another fastest lap. We've taken a second lap of Verstappen on that lap alone. How much time could Hamilton be losing in the late stage of the Grand Prix though? As if this race could have just taken another twist here. It's actually crazy how much stuff's happened in just the space of 10 laps. But we need to try and get past Verstappen first of all before we even think about closing up to the Mercedes. We saw just how much Bottas lost back in Australia. It was a good couple of seconds a lap towards the end. We're going quicker than Hamilton anyway. Let's wait and see what can happen here. We're still trying to close down the gap to Verstappen. Should be able to get past him down the back straightaway, unless we make a bit of a mistake. Come on. Let's get the run on Verstappen. Let's deal with him. Oh, just actually getting it stuck in there. I thought it was going to run very, very deep through that corner that time. AI likes to take quite a wide line through there. We're trying to keep it a bit closer to the inside. And it does seem to be working for us. Yeah, we're going to be way past Verstappen. The Ferrari is much quicker than the Red Bull down the straights there. That was one of the easiest overtakes I think I've made down the back straightaway there. Now, we need to see what the gap is to Hamilton at the front of the field. You can see him just coming through the final corner. He's definitely lost a lot of time. What is that gap going to be? Through the final corner, down towards the line. Another fastest lap. The gap's 5 seconds to Lewis Hamilton. We've got 4 laps to go. Is this going to be possible? I'm going to keep pushing, and only time will tell. in towards the final corner then of lap 11. The gap was 5.3 a lap ago. The gap now, 2.1. We've taken 3 seconds out of Hamilton on that lap alone. He is definitely losing a lot of time. Verstappen might be able to get past him as well. Remember, we are the current top 2 in the championship. You can see visibly through turn 1 how much we've just gained on him. Surely there's going to be nothing he can do in terms of defence. However, Mercedes might be able to get that issue fixed. Depending on what it is, Hamilton might get it sorted, and he might then resume racing speed again. However, at the moment, we're just throwing absolutely everything we can at this to try and close up to this Mercedes and get past him, and if we need to, build up a bit of a breakaway here through the S's we go. Look at that! How much slower is he going through there? He's... okay, he's sort of going to give us it and then squeeze us anyway. Make a bit of a mistake on the exit, but we are now back up into the lead.
Brilliant.
Of this Chinese Grand Prix. I cannot believe this so far. Considering I thought after that botched pit strategy where we got stuck waiting for the whole queue to come past, we were out of this. It was going to be a case of damage limitation. If we can get sort of a top 5, that was going to be okay. Oh, Hamilton! He's stopping. I think he's stopping. Hamilton, yep, is out of the Chinese Grand Prix there. A big potential swing in the championship very, very early on for the Mercedes driver there. I'm guessing it's looking like just a standard engine blow up there. And Ocon now back up into P4.
Serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
2 laps to go now of this Chinese Grand Prix. We need to try and hold on ahead of Max Verstappen here, but this race, this has had everything. On to the final lap then of this Chinese Grand Prix. This race has thrown up absolutely everything at us. Obviously tricky conditions at the start, slippery conditions. We picked up damage before we even got through turn 1 there with contact with my teammate Sebastian Vettel. After that, we held on to the lead for the first couple of laps in the wet. And then, unfortunately, during the safety car period, Ferrari once again made the strategy blunder. Decided we would take a new, fresh front wing there. That sent both myself down to the bottom end even, I should say, the top 10. Seb basically out of the running. Unfortunately, still lingering down in the midfield there, outside the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. However, we were able to claw our way back through. Hamilton probably robbed of this race victory, I'm going to admit, but you got to be there at the end of the day to take them. We come through, win number 2 of the season here in China. That one definitely felt good.
P1 race win. Well done.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Let's give it to Sergio Perez. That was a commanding performance today. Very impressive indeed.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So there we are then, the end of the Chinese Grand Prix, and I think we'll be the only person that held on to our grid position. Only ourselves and Pierre Gasly held on to our starting place there. That goes to show just how crazy that race was in the end. Max Verstappen comes through for his first podium of these 2020 campaign there. Bottas, consistent so far. I think he's the only driver to have been in the podium in all 3 Grand Prix there. And Esteban Ocon, I think that is a career best fourth place as well in that Grand Prix. Albon, he looked like he had some very, very quick pace at the start of the Grand Prix, potentially even a chance to hassle for the race victory there, and got roped into that weird collision, I think it was, with Pierre Gasly at the end of the day, which really did cost him in the end. Magnussen, a very solid race for Haas coming through in P6. Renault, look at that. So good points on the board for them, 18 points at the end of the day there as well. With Sergio Perez getting driver of the day, 14th to 8th. Lando Norris, I think, picking up his first points of the championship from 15th up into 9th. Romain Grosjean rounding out the top 10. Now, my teammate Vettel, unfortunately, just missing out on points at the end of the day there. Ahead of Kvyat, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Russell, Latifi, Gasly, Hamilton DNF, Carlos Sainz, I think got stuck in the pit lane entry, I'll be honest. I can see him there every lap, 4 laps down at the end of the day, means Hamilton finishes 18th ahead of him. In terms of the Drivers' Championship then, we move back up into the lead of the title there. Bottas, I think he's had 3 third places so far, finds himself now up into P2 in the World Championship, ahead of Hamilton there, 60 points to 45 to 43. Max Verstappen now up into P4 ahead of his teammate Albon there. Esteban Ocon is ahead of my teammate Sebastian Vettel after the first 3 races of this championship there, with Ocon picking up a lot of points from today's Grand Prix there. Ricciardo still holding on nicely up in P8. Magnussen in 9th there ahead of Sergio Perez. Grosjean, Gasly, Lando Norris, and then we've got Raikkonen, Kvyat, Stroll, Giovinazzi, Sainz, Latifi, and Russell all still yet to score. In terms of the Constructors, just 18 points now separate the top 3 teams as well, though. We took a lot of points out of Mercedes there. Red Bull, however, took a lot of points out of us, and Renault, they're looking very, very strong in P4 there. The only switcheroo we saw was McLaren jumping Williams there for P8 and P9 in the Teams Championship. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. What a crazy race that was. If you did enjoy, do get yourself subscribing, and we will be back next time out, I think, for the Spanish Grand Prix. We'll have to wait and see. I'll see you guys in the next one.